I'm loving it. I'm gonna keep that part in the podcast. Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Sarah the Rebel, and this is Women Wrestling Friends. The show where we talk about wrestling with our women friends. Female power. Yeah. To my left, the lovely Tamara Brooks. To my right,
Hi.
Kaori. I don't remember your last name.
Okay, it's all good.
Damn it. Oh, that's a really memorable one.
Yeah, see.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And I'm Sarah the Rebel, in case you don't know. I don't know how you ended up here if you don't know, but hello, welcome.
And lucky you.
You know very well who we are.
Okay, I didn't know you had
no
chops.
more. I'm terrible.
That was pretty good, actually.
Maybe it'll sound good through this mic because this is an excellent mic.
It is an excellent mic.
So today, it does fall over. It's falling over right now. Today, you guys haven't seen us in a while because I've been in Japan, and then things got crazy. Kaori was also in Japan, but before me for Wrestle Kingdom. So today, we're going to talk about Japanese wrestling, essentially. We're going to talk about our experiences, Wrestle Kingdom and Stardom, and then we're going to talk about how wrong and right we were about the Royal Rumble, even though it was a while ago, and a little bit about Elimination Chamber. So, buckle in, kids.
Okay.
Nobody is ready for WWFP. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Wrestle Kingdom. Oh my God! Like everyone's dream. Tell me about that.
Okay, Wrestle Kingdom every year. That was the third year I went, and it was this year was crazy packed. I couldn't believe how many foreigners there were.
Chris Jericho apparently a big draw.
Oh, huge draw. Well, the like different matches, it was stacked, you know, and I really loved. Well, it's been a while since I'm kind of forgetting, but I think the 4-way was one of my favorite matches. Obviously, it was going to be good. It took me by surprise.
Right.
I'm forgetting the guy's name, but he was like a Power Ranger.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I also Osprey.
Yes, Osprey. Yeah, he was great.
He's like he moves kind of like a bird too. I wasn't a big fan of him when I saw him at New Japan, but apparently everyone else loves him, so I'm just wrong.
So you're still not a fan?
I don't know. Something about him isn't. I'm not a diss fan.
Okay.
I'm just like
okay. I'm sad to hear that.
I'm more of a Marty Scurll kind of girl.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I mean, all the matches were solid. Obviously, Jericho and
Right.
Omega was really, really good. The crowd popped. The crowd loves Jericho.
Who knew? Would you guys have guessed
No.
like old Jericho?
Yeah, no.
Older Jericho.
I was watching WWE puts out these videos of various things. So they're like, oh, big debuts, it's like top 10 big debuts or whatever. And it's just baby Chris Jericho.
With his
Yeah.
little ponytail right
right
I
there.
like that look with his little headband too.
Yeah, the headband works.
Yeah.
It's like that's just a weird, great thing for you to do.
In fact, when I remember when he debuted, because I didn't get why we were excited, because I didn't watch multiple, because he came from one of the other ones. Guys, sorry, I was like a child when this was happening.
We've talked about how our memories are very good.
And so I remember he had come from somewhere else, so a lot of people were excited when they saw the countdown appear when he first debuted, and I was just like, okay, who is it? And then he came out, and I was like, I don't know her.
Yeah.
And I hated him immediately because of that tiny ponytail.
Yes.
I was
Really?
like, fuck you, man, with your stupid ponytail. And then he won me over.
Yeah, Jericho is the king of like tiny gimmicks that simultaneously make you hate him and love him instantly.
The
Like
scarf, the list, right?
So good. He's so good.
And now the headband, I think, is
The
going to be
headband,
the
it's
weird
good.
thing.
Yeah.
It's just like whether you like Jericho or you don't like him, he gets you to pay attention.
Immediately.
No matter what. And then obviously the main event was amazing. Every time you see Okada, who's been main eventing all these years, he gets hotter and hotter. He's just like the whole package. He comes in with his robe.
Right.
The rain money comes down.
It's so weird because when I watch him, and there's another one whose name I don't know because I'm terrible and I don't watch New Japan Wrestling that much. But the other one, he looks like an elf general. Like he's got like a ponytail half the time, and he's wearing like kind of another cool type of robe. Yes, Tanahashi.
Yeah.
Yes. And I love that I said elf general, and you were able to figure it out.
I was like the stallions.
Yep. But I just love that they all have such good looks.
They do.
Like, they look like a thing, man. I just love that about.
Well, I mean, the thing I loved about Wrestle Kingdom versus WrestleMania is, first of all, it's a more intimate space, and also Japanese viewers aren't as rambunctious and loud that take away from the viewing of the wrestling. You know what I mean?
They're not trying to start stupid ass chants. That no one
Yeah,
wants to join in with.
it's super quiet.
Yeah.
You know. And, okay, once in a while you hear a girl going like, "Okay, then," you know, that's about it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a different experience, and I know they're coming next month, I think, in March. So people should definitely join and see that. But I mean, it's if you want to go to Wrestle Kingdom, you just need to go.
So do you have any tips for anyone who would be their first time going like to Japan to go to Wrestle Kingdom? Like anything they should watch out for or know about? Advice?
About Japan in general?
It could be Japan in general, yeah.
Or
even getting your ticket, anything.
The biggest thing I recommend if you're going to Japan for like a week is to get a rail pass.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, it's like maybe $300 to $400 depending on the class you go. So you can not only stay in Tokyo but also go to like Kyoto and Osaka, because Tokyo gets kind of old, you know. After 3 days, you're like, I'm over this futuristic shit. Let's go see what traditional Japan is like, and you know, there's so much more than Tokyo.
Right, definitely.
Yeah,
I can agree with that. So I went to Japan for 2 weeks for the EVO Japan tournament, which is a video game tournament.
So cool.
EVO in America is the biggest video game tournament of its type in America. And so I was really excited when I heard they announced it for Japan. That's why we knew we had to go. Me and my roommate, Kapwan, we always go to EVO. So we were like, we've always wanted to go to Japan, let's do it. So we booked 2 weeks because my birthday was coming up too. And we're like, we're going to go to the Studio Ghibli Museum, we're going to do all this stuff. And then I saw a tweet that reminded me about Stardom, which is an all-women's Japanese wrestling promotion. So I was like, oh, wow, I could actually go to that while I'm there. So I go to the show. It's very confusing how to get there, how to get tickets. They're like, email us and tell us what seats you want. And we're like, well, what are the options?
Yeah, that's true. It is confusing.
And they're like, tell us the seats you want. How much are these seats? Tell us the seats. Okay. Close?
I think the best thing to do for that is find like a Japanese friend and have them do it. Because even though, like for New Japan, for Wrestle Kingdom, when tickets are sold out here, my friends could still get tickets in Japan till like the day of.
Yeah.
So it helps to have a.
I could tell. That would be my number one takeaway from Japan is go with a Japanese friend.
Yes.
Or make a Japanese friend.
Yeah. Pen pal.
Because, oh my gosh, it was a lot. We couldn't even buy milk properly. Because you're like, oh, this has a picture of a cow on it. This is clearly and you drink it. You're like, it's not really milk.
Did that happen to you?
Yes. It was like milk product type of drink. Yeah. We were trying to use Google Translate, and of course it has the word milk in it because it's a milk product.
It's a milk drink, yeah.
I'm like, we can't go any safer than getting the one with cows. Wrong. And tip for you guys, if that does ever happen to you, real milk has a divot, a little dip, in the top of a carton for visually impaired people to find it. So that's how you can tell you're actually buying milk. Fun fact.
How did you find that out? I didn't know.
We looked it up because we were like, how do I get milk? I want to eat a cereal.
It's funny, every time you explain your Japanese experience, you're like crying.
I hated Japan! I don't know! I wanted to go to Japan my whole life and I'm an otaku. How the fuck did I hate Japan?
That's crazy.
I only went to Tokyo though, so like there's like I'm gonna get into that about what you said about the rail pass in a little bit. So it was really confusing to get tickets. We got there, we bought tickets there because we hadn't paid. And then realized when we got up there we were wrong and we should have gone all the way up and there was a table set up where they would get our name and then we would buy it, but that wasn't explained. So we ended up just buying tickets and we were fine. We were kind of high up, so it was perfect. If we'd been closer like I wanted to be, I wouldn't have been able to see. I'm very small. So it turns out it's the 7th anniversary show. So they're like, we're going to have some festivities. And what they mean by festivities is we're going to make you listen to the wrestlers sing, and we're going to make you watch them dance. And I use the word make you because it is bad. It is so bad. It is the word. Aaron was like, I wish I brought my earplugs. This is like the mics were even not good. It was like going to karaoke but not being drunk enough.
But okay, aside from you, was the rest of the crowd like feeling it?
No, that was the funniest part. So at first, they're waving their little sticks. They're like to the beat, like and then by like the second song, like it was just like nothing. Like the crowd was just like, and every once in a while they'd be like, whatever, you know, come on, get hype. You could tell that's what they were saying. Then you would hear. It was they could not sing, and God bless their hearts, but they could not dance. And I've noticed that wrestlers can't dance. This is a fun fact. I know some of y'all think that some of them can, but literally only Big E can dance out of the whole. Like, I know y'all think Xavier Woods can dance, but it's a trick. He has like one move he can do, and that's fine. We all got that shit. We're like, you know what I can do? This little two-step. So I think it's like a disease that wrestlers have.
Well, all their concentration of movement is in not dying in their ring.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like, they're
So
so
I feel like
graceful.
There's like
and-
a
Graceful? I mean, depending on who you're talking about.
I mean, I feel like a lot of them are like they have so much body control. So I'm like, how?
like Finn Balor trying to do Sasha's thing.
Right, like Finn Balor. I've seen you walk dick first to that ring and do some Cirque du Soleil looking shit.
Mhm.
How come you can't do this? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's kinda-
I feel like that has to be a thing that he's doing
on purpose. That's what
It
I
has
have
to
to
be on
because
purpose.
how could you
You cannot live life dick first like that
Yeah.
and not be able
and
to
not be able to just do this the slide.
Yeah.
It's like it's not that hard.
Yes, I
Right.
agree.
Okay, now I need to try that later.
So in the privacy of my own home.
Yeah, not here.
So once we got past that, it was 15 minutes. 15 minutes of hearing someone yell into a microphone that is popping because it's not a good mic. I was like, oh my gosh, but I had a delicious hot dog as well, so I was kind of like, okay, still. I was like, this hot dog.
Because of the hot
delicious.
dog.
And
Sweet to be
Japanese people have so much shit on lock. For example, when we buy a hot dog at a place, it's going to be all expensive because
Yeah.
we're at a place, and a drink's going to be expensive. Then you're going to have to go to the station and pump
Yeah.
your stuff. Nah, Japan got this shit figured out. First of all, there's a vending machine for your drinks. It costs the same amount as it would on the street. Your
True.
hot dog is going to cost what is reasonable for a hot dog to cost. And then they give you this little thing. It's like a little packet, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And as you pinch the packet, it's going to
Yeah.
squirt out the mustard and the ketchup in a perfect amount, and the lining. You're like, technology.
Very practical place.
Yeah.
That was like the. I will give them that. Like they had ice cream vending machines everywhere.
Nice.
It was useful.
I'm just so sad you didn't like Japan. I just feel like you need to do a
Well,
do-over.
Let's get more specifics. She was not feeling Tokyo.
And in the cold.
Okay.
And the
Do
cold.
you think the
I
cold
think
had
that's
a
what it is.
Yeah.
90% because everything we had planned involved walking outside.
Well, you're in Tokyo, so you're going to be walking.
Yeah, it was freezing and I hated life, everything. Slipping on ice. They had the worst snowfall they've had in 40 years, the coldest temperatures they've had in 30 years. Those are 2 different days, by the way.
Did you get to get any cool fashion, like clothing?
I did,
items?
yes. And
Okay.
I wore them at manager class, but I don't think anyone took pictures that
Mhm.
day. Oh, I do have a picture up on my Instagram. There's a see-through black dress and on my Facebook that you guys can see. Got it real cheap. That was nice. Because they were having a sale, and it was it's like a few bucks cheaper. Even like generally, you think to yourself, 700 yen is $7,
Yeah.
but really it's a little less.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. That
Those
way.
like the hyaku and the dollar,
Mhm.
dollar coins always throw me off because they're shaped like quarters.
Yeah.
So I always feel like spiritually I'm spending quarters, but I'm like, no, I'm spending dollars.
It's dollar bills.
Damn
It's
it.
hard. That's something to pay attention to because
Yes.
you'll get so much change if you go to Japan for the first time. You'll be like, this is $500, 500 yen. So it's like $5, but it's a bunch of coins, and you're like, what? How do I count these quickly without
Yeah,
being
you
an
find what you
asshole?
Yeah.
That's where the vending machines come in. So the wrestling act started, and now I felt another fear because it was not very good. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, how? These aren't stiff. They're not taking their drop kicks properly. Like, I was
Okay.
just fussing. By the second match, it was already getting better, and the third match was great, and the rest
Oh,
of the matches were good. So I think it was just their, like, young girls. Whatever the equivalent of a young boy is, they're young girls, I guess. People in training, because they also sat around the ring for the rest of the time, like, watching and helping. There were a bunch of women there who I've seen in LA, which was really cool. So, like, Nicole
nice.
Savoy,
Uh-huh.
Kylie Ray, Chris
Okay.
Wolf, who is the AWS Women's Champion right now. So, like, I was like, oh, yeah, I know all these
Oh,
ladies.
that's cool.
So that was really awesome.
Yeah. Now, did you have the same experience, like, I'm going back to Wrestle Kingdom, where I don't know what it's like for Stardom, but Wrestle Kingdom, what I really appreciated as well was the wrestling and the promos seemed, they're shorter and they just cut straight to the point.
Yes.
And wrestling seems more, I hate to say the word, but more real.
Yeah,
So, you know what I mean?
I can agree. Once we got to, like I said, past the first few matches, I definitely felt like it looked like any of these women could kick my ass. And the movements they were doing were a lot more concentrated, way less of the flippy shit out of nowhere. It seemed like it was always very purposeful. The promos, they just played on the TV, like
Yeah,
just
same.
quick little promos.
And they were quick, and it
Yeah.
was like, you know, you really, if I had to go use the restroom, I'm like, oh my god, I gotta
Right,
be
you're
quick.
gonna miss something.
Yeah.
It
It
is-
is like, oh, it said WWE Network's thanking us right now. I gotta rest, you know.
Right. Definitely. It was I like story, so that was like kind of something where I was sad about, like, oh, I don't get the story. But I wouldn't have understood the story. I was actually so the if you do ever go to Stardom, the good thing is that the Twitter account, they have an English Twitter account, and it gives updates live. So there was a part at the very end where there were it was basically a tournament to see which member had to leave a faction. Factions are really important still in Japanese wrestling. And so when that person lost, there was a lot of talking at the end, because what was essentially happening is, okay, you can't be with us, but we think you're amazing. Oh, hey, join us. No, someone came from the back, join us. And I was only able to understand any of it because I had the Twitter pulled up. I was like, oh.
That's actually very helpful though that they did that. That's cool.
So I was able to follow along. And there's just some great wrestling. There's some women. Of course, I don't have the paper with me, so I can't tell you their names, but they are kicking ass there, and you need to be watching it. Viper was there. You may remember her from the Mae Young Classic. What was her name in Mae Young Classic? Piper?
Oh, she was there? Oh, cool.
She's kicking butt, looking awesome. And the woman, it was like a tournament with eliminations, and I was so impressed. I'm sorry that I didn't bring that piece of paper that I meant to bring so I could tell you all their names, but I will tweet about them.
Yes, you can do that.
So you know that they are just amazing ladies, and I'm now following a lot of them because, and Kylie Ray I already knew I liked her, and then this like solidified it for me.
Oh, great.
Like, she's
That's
awesome. Good. Do you have any thoughts about our thoughts about Japan? Or questions?
Questions?
I know. I'm just like quietly absorbing everything.
I feel like we're leaving you out.
Oh, okay. I'm good. I'm always good.
Have you ever been to Japan?
I have not. Actually, I was just talking about this yesterday. I have some concerns as a 6-foot-tall woman that I would not be comfortable anywhere.
That is true.
The Airbnb was horribly small. I was like, how do people live? Like, if I wanted to cook, I need a place to put the plates, and I need like, how do I dry the plates? What does like this button do? It's got a lot of text on it.
I'm just like shaking my head about like your experience in Japan. It's just so sad.
Figuring out the washing machine, we thought we figured it out, but then we found out we needed to have hit the dryer setting before we started the wash. So we had to dry our clothes like
Did
in
you like
the
even
bathtub.
Google it? Like
Yeah, and he had like stuffed, and we used the Google Translate, which everybody recommended, but like I don't know if Google Translate is just full of shit or what, but like we could figure out like this is hot.
Right.
Right.
Where were you staying in
Tokyo? It
like,
was we were in Shibuya? No. Yes? No.
Shibuya, Shinjuku.
Shinjuku.
Okay.
We're in Shinjuku.
Okay.
I'm like, it's a shin. It's definitely Shinjuku. We went to Harajuku. We went to Shibuya. We went to Roppongi for something. Like, we went around Tokyo.
And you enjoyed the food, at least.
Food tasted like food here, man.
Oh my god.
It was good. We got great Japanese food here.
So.
Like, we went to we went to the market, the fish market that everyone talks about, where you like catch the fish, and we ate at a highly recommended restaurant there.
And you weren't that impressed.
It was good, but I've had good sushi here in Little Osaka. Like,
it's still not the same.
The shrimp was better. Like, I don't know why we serve the shrimp we serve at sushi. I've always wondered why anyone likes shrimp. But it was an actual shrimp, so it was delicious. The egg omelet was delicious. Here, I'm always like, what the fuck is this thing, and why is it served to me? It's delicious in Japan. That's why. Because they're trying to make you something great, and they're just failing at it here. But other than that, like, I don't eat curry, so I heard a lot of people say that curry is way better there, but I don't like curry. The ramen, I've had ramen just as good here.
What?
I have. The only thing that blew my mind was these dumplings I had at a ramen shop. The ramen was supposed to be like amazing, and I'm like, this is pretty good, but like the dumplings, I was like, hey, you cooking these dumplings, you have changed my life. Do you know that? Do you understand what I'm saying right now? I love you. And they're just like, oh. So,
how tragic.
Yeah, I don't know, like everyone, there were places people told me to go.
I think you probably would like some of the sort of smaller cities.
Maybe.
I think so too. I think what I enjoyed the most was the shrine, the Meiji something shrine, Jingu shrine. I enjoyed like the garden, like, and it kept saying all these signs like he built this for his wife. He built this for, and I'm like messaging Tyler Bateman like. Would you build me a tea house and a lake and stock it with goldfish, Sharita fish, and make me a garden? He's like, I would do all. I'd make you everything.
With that voice?
Yeah. So that's how I read it.
Through the text.
You're like, oh, yeah, fine. Fuck, I will make you all this shit. You want irises? I got you. that was my favorite part. So I did feel like if we had gone outside of Tokyo, I might have enjoyed more of the more historic side of things. Unfortunately, we couldn't afford it. Like you said, that $200 rail, we didn't get anywhere close to spending $200 on the rail just in Tokyo. And you know, it's expensive to go there. Food's expensive. Everything was pretty expensive. So couldn't afford it.
Well, hopefully one day you'll give it a second chance.
I want to try to go again in warm weather.
Yeah.
Because it's absolutely miserable to have to walk everywhere.
That's true.
In 29 degrees.
It does kill everything. Like, just generally when it's cold, it even hurts to go to the bathroom or take a shower or like anything.
People were messaging each other in the group chat like, guys, I think my heater's broken. And we all had to message back like, nope, that's just how the heaters are here. Like, you walk into the bathroom, you're going to be cold. And then you're going to sit on that heated toilet and you're going to be okay. Yeah. But like, I know y'all know it's cold because that's why y'all got a heated toilet seat. You're not fooling anybody. But they can heat a whole subway. I feel the heat blasting out of the subway, and I'm like, why isn't this in my home? I have a lot of questions.
I will say, like, one thing about Japan is that they're so systematic about everything that when you ask for like a special request, it like throws them off.
Absolutely. So Capwan is allergic to shellfish.
Like
and
that stuff.
You would think that in a sushi industry they would maybe there's no translation for shellfish properly, but they couldn't figure out what we were trying to ask.
Okay.
And like we had it in Japanese. We'd gotten it printed out and everything so we could show them. And so we had to list off all the ones we could think of off the top of our head. And they still put sea urchin there. They didn't realize that wasn't shellfish. So I don't know if maybe there's just not that distinction made. Right. But like anytime anything had to be changed. Hey, can I have this, but can I have less of this? Or can I not have this?
Yeah, they can.
They can accommodate you.
They can. It throws them off.
We were supposed to we bought 2 tickets because of a misunderstanding with the website. One was a seat and one was a standing ticket for the Evo. And when we got there, he was like, I want to have the standing and give her the seat. And they were like, no. And we're like, why? What does this hurt? And they're like, nope, can't do it. And we ran into that everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, there's no room for deviations. And there's also no trash cans.
Yeah, that's true.
Carry a plastic bag with you to hold within your bag to like keep your trash separate. And you should bring a handkerchief.
Yes, that's true.
So there were a lot of people say what they love about Japan was the culture, and at least for me, the city of Tokyo didn't have a culture that I liked because it was just New York where I couldn't understand anyone.
It was like it is a lot like New York. So it's like nice to visit, but not a good place to live.
And I think I'm spoiled being in Los Angeles. I want to be clear about that because I have Little Tokyo and Little Osaka and all these anime stores and nerd stores. And I was finding things that I could buy in America for the same price, you know, even at the Studio Ghibli Museum.
Did you go to an arcade?
Yeah, I went to arcades, and I was like, ugh.
Did you play the taiko drums?
I did not want to play. I played them before at round 1, which they had in Japan, and we have here.
But you still got to play it in Japan.
Do I?
I feel like you need to like, give Japan more of a chance.
People were smoking in the arcades, so I didn't stay there. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was like only a section, right?
I could smell it throughout the arcade.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's just a section. Yeah.
Because in Japan, like, you're only allowed to smoke in sections. So, like, when at Wrestle Kingdom, there was, like, cubes where people were inside a cube. So it looked like they were the infected or something. It's kind of funny.
I would see that in, like, outside venues and stuff, but in the arcades, it was, like...
Because it's, I mean, you're in a area.
I was just smelling smoke. And Aaron would come home smelling like smoke because he went to an arcade every single night.
Oh, okay.
And so he would come back smelling horrible every night. And we couldn't really do anything about it because it was too cold to hang our clothes outside. And sorry.
Well, next time you go, I would love to give you some tips, or maybe go with you.
That would be my ideal. I said if I want to go, I want to go back in the warmth, and I want to go with a friend who can help me because Lord, I needed help. I needed something.
But that's fun. The adventure of not knowing what the hell's happening.
Normally, I like it. Like when I went to Thailand, when I went to St. Lucia, when I went to Germany. Had a great time. But here I wasn't. I think the cold made it so I didn't want to explore. And so because I didn't want to explore,
not like normal cold, like you were saying, like a record attack.
Yeah, cold.
Like in my brain, when he said 30 degrees, I think my brain said 50 degrees. And so I brought all the long sleeve stuff I had.
Right.
But there is a difference between 50 degrees and 30 degrees. And guys, I'm cold at 60 degrees.
Well, you're a Los Angeles
I am.
human.
I'm an LA girl.
Yeah, me
We get those sweet 40 to 50 degree temperature drops between the day and the night.
I know.
Yeah, and I'm freezing. I'm like, guys, it is the coldest I've ever been in my life.
Because like literally 2 hours ago it was 81 degrees. It is now 45.
Yeah, it's so insane.
I don't want to live.
That's why everybody always wants to like, bang on us for being like, oh, look at you with your sweaters. It's only 40 degrees. I'm like, dude, like literally 40 degrees.
Yeah.
So anybody who comes here from the Midwest who talks a lot of yang within 2 years are one of those people with sweaters.
There was a guy there talking so much shit to me. He's like, I'm from Minneapolis. I'm like, then go the fuck back to Minneapolis.
He's talking shit?
Yeah, he was talking shit like, you're cold. This is hoodie weather, and everyone's looking at me crazy because I'm wearing my hoodie. And I'm like, yeah, even the Japanese people are looking at you crazy.
Good for you, guy.
Right? And he's like, you need to buy a better jacket. Buy me a jacket then. I ain't got no money. I cannot afford a better jacket.
Oh, dear.
Lord. I was wrapped. I had everything I could. I had the hat, the Pikachu hat. Everyone was staring at me because nobody wears silly-ass Pikachu hats in Tokyo.
Did you go to Tokyo Disney?
No, because that shit was expensive.
Oh.
Part of this shit is expensive.
Yeah, it is. I hear you.
It's expensive.
It's basically all you can do is like fly there and go to Tokyo Disney.
Definitely.
Like there's no money left over after that. Because that's like LA, like Disneyland is like $120.
Yes.
I think it's more now, isn't it?
Yeah, for just one day in one park. Like
yes.
No, you don't even get that.
Shout out to Busch Gardens in Virginia, Williamsburg, costing $60 to $80, depending on if you're military. I miss you a lot.
That was an advertisement.
Tell Busch
just a
Gardens.
little.
So we got way off track talking about Japan, but I think it would be very useful for any of you planning to go who have never been. Hopefully you got something useful out of that. Let's talk about Royal Rumble Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
I'm gonna scroll down because
how wrong was I? I was decently wrong.
We were all wrong because Paige couldn't come, and that was before we found out about Paige's injury.
Yeah.
So she's probably never
Jericho didn't come. No, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe in the Indies.
Yeah. After we did the thing, I was thinking, I wonder if Sienna's gonna pop up, but I was like, like they usually don't. Okay, so the thing that messed me up, or the thing that I was thinking, like, haha, logic. Last year,
why do we believe that
I know
he has logic?
So last year they didn't have any of the champions from NXT come in.
Yeah.
But now this year they had only the champions from NXT.
I found strange personally.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Just now.
Yeah, it was very. So I just so like I was thinking they might have Sienna, and I was like, I was thinking Ember Moon might show up a bit because like Ember's super over.
Yes.
But then I was like, she's a champion. We usually don't do the champions there, so that's why I thought it was gonna be like Candice LeRae because she's really over as well.
Right.
I was wrong.
We didn't see Bianca wasn't there. I remember you said Bianca.
Which I thought for sure she was going to be.
I was right about Rey Mysterio and Kaori Sane.
I was spiritually right about Jericho because
I like that.
Spiritually I'm spiritually right about Jericho. He was on the
right God's way.
I know, like, what?
But Dolph Ziggler showed up, and that's kind of just.
So wasn't he number 30 or something?
He was,
right?
because he won a champ when he won, and then walked off without the title, disappeared or whatever. So he was basically.
That was so dumb. Sorry.
I don't know.
For me, it was weird.
Especially because he's probably maybe he's just gonna be on the wrong.
There's nothing we can do to make us care about Dolph. Apparently,
and
I keep wanting to care.
I don't want to care.
I do. I like
he's awful, and I like him. He's a good heel.
Yeah.
Like I said, the spiritual successor to Jericho, in that he is awful all the time.
Yeah.
And he's got stupid wet hair and his
stupid ramen noodle hair.
Doesn't give a crap.
Doesn't give a crap with his pink tights.
So let's put this in slightly organized fashion.
Okay.
So the winner of the men's Royal Rumble was Shinsuke Nakamura. And the winner of the women's Royal Rumble was Asuka.
That was so great. 2 Japanese wrestlers, and they're really good too. It was so great. But I don't want to get ahead, but I will get ahead real quick. It kind of bothered me. I know a lot of people are saying this, so I want to hear what you guys thought. Ronda Rousey comes out, takes away Asuka's moment.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Let me go through the many things I didn't like. First of all, she came out like she was still a fan and not like a wrestler. She came out smiling.
Yeah.
Happy
because she can't act. She was like, the whole time she looked like mugshot.
She's like smiling and then going and like it looked stupid that she had no idea what she was supposed to be doing. We cut out, Asuka was supposed to have this big moment and it was taken away because for some reason they thought we would care more about Ronda Rousey than Asuka. And I don't know if maybe I just only know wrestling fans, but all the wrestling fans on my Twitter and that I know personally felt the same way about it. Like, no, this isn't what we wanted. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, no, Asuka. So that was weird. It almost seemed like they didn't have trust in Asuka for that moment. And then that fucking lame-ass fucking point to the sign every 3 seconds.
Just
Because that's all she can do. And she did it badly.
Yeah.
She pointed badly. How did
How
that
do you
happen?
point badly?
the worst pointing on the face of the planet.
Best thing she had going for her was wearing Piper's jacket.
Which kind of also made me extra mad because she sucked in the ring. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that made me a little extra mad because I love him. I interviewed him
Yeah.
one time on a red carpet and he was drunk and he was delightful because it was for a premiere and he was partying in that limo on the way stuck in traffic, which happens more often than you think. So I was like, get out of here. Just like, what are you even here? Like, if she wasn't gonna actually be one of the entrants, then she shouldn't have been there. It would have made more sense for her to pop up on Raw.
Monday Night
Yes.
Raw the next
That's
night,
what
like,
I was
oh,
gonna
you
say.
think you're on top of the world? Oh, but I'm here. You know, something like that.
And just
And the handshakes.
Yeah.
No handshake from Asuka, so I'm going to go silently over to Stephanie and handshake her instead. But I'm not going to shake hands with Charlotte or Alexa or anyone. Like, that was so
bad.
weird.
It was really bad.
It was weird.
And it undercut. Look, I thought, for a first 30-person Rumble, it actually went pretty good.
The Rumble itself.
Yeah, the Rumble itself was really like. In fact, I feel like the men's Rumble could learn a thing or two from pacing. Because there was never too many people in the ring at a given point in time. Because a lot of the men's Rumble is there's about 11 dudes in here, and we're waiting for we're waiting for Braun Strowman
in the corner.
Oh, I'm so tired. Or we're grappling because you're waiting for like Braun to show up, and just the monster is waiting for.
Speaking of Braun, I thought he died.
Oh yeah.
I thought that man lost his life for a moment.
Yeah.
So R.I.P. to Braun's side of his head.
I love Braun.
He's great. I really. Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Okay. I know plenty of places have already talked about the Royal Rumble for you guys. We're late because I was just getting back from Japan. But, we have a special interest in it because we're like, oh my God, we finally get this thing that, we've always wanted. I thought the weirdest part of the Royal Rumble for me, like the part where I'm just like, I don't get to play there, was Michelle McCool came out and was the first person to have a run. She was the first person to eliminate more than one person.
Yes.
She just went on a tear.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, why did it make more sense to have someone older who you're not going to like push or do anything with be the one who came in and got to be the first person and the only person really to have a tear? She was the only one who went on a streak.
That's true.
And everyone else like might have done some hits and stuff like that, but she's the only one who was like eliminate. Michelle McCool. And it's like, normally that's reserved for your big monsters for the guys. Yeah. So like if a Nia Jax had done it, that would enhance Nia. But she didn't. She was beating people up, but she wasn't eliminating anyone. I would expect Nia Jax or anyone else that they're pushing Asuka, to be the one to go on a tear. Yeah. But it was Michelle McCool.
And particularly like who for all of the legendary kind of women that they got back, why was it Michelle McCool? Why didn't Lita or a couple of people or Trish or as much as
Trish maybe got 2.
Yeah, and as much as I'm not into Kelly very much, I'm like because based on how much you loved her, you know what I mean? Not that Michelle McCool was.
You loved her?
No, not you.
Oh, okay.
The Royal Rumble. Yeah, the Royal
Y'all.
And Jacqueline didn't get nothing. She was barely in there.
I had tears in my eyes when I saw her. I was vibrating with excitement. I'm like, oh my God, they gave me Miss Jackie back. And she didn't get to do anything. And I was like,
and she looks fit as
but
hell.
she was still wrestling last night.
Yeah.
But you know what was really awesome about her? I did still get a moment out of her. Jokingly, we talked about the fact that what if Naomi has to do a Kofi spot? Ha ha ha, because she's the athletic black woman. Yeah. And she did. Yeah. But whatever, cool, she got a little spot. But there was a moment for me. And it was that her spot was that she landed on a bunch of wrestlers. And Miss Jackie was one of those wrestlers. And seeing her there's a shot of her lifting Naomi's foot up. Yeah. And that for me was like a little moment. Like, I got goosebumps talking about it right now. For me, that was a little moment of like, you're the new me, go on, kid, And I kind of get emotional thinking about it. But for me, that was like a moment. So at least I got that.
Yeah. But it's still like, I was happy that neither of the Bellas won.
Oh, don't get me started then.
We're gonna get they're gonna get these verbal hands. So I was happy that Asuka did it. I am super confused at the way the ending kind of went to a degree, because it's like, so you bring out the Bellas, and then you have them join forces, and then there's a turn. But why?
Yeah, it was very, very strange.
Yeah.
You clearly, there's two of you who could work together as a team against Asuka, the most frightening woman in the WWE, and you chose that moment to betray.
Well, do you guys remember the feud they had that just kind of disappeared?
Yeah.
Maybe they're bringing.
Like that's what I did wonder that. Yeah. Are they gonna have a feud? Is that? But I doubt it. The way it was done, it wasn't done like even Natty's betrayal had more oomph to it.
Yes, it had way more. Oh, Beth Phoenix is so good.
Beth Phoenix is great. Where it was like, oh, Beth, thank you for helping me do this, and I get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, we're so good.
Versus with the Bellas, where it was just like, all right, everyone for yourself.
Yeah, it was weird. And I mean,
the other weird thing, who got eliminated by who, was very interesting to me, because generally that's a sign, right? Dana Brooke eliminated Kaori Sane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Dana
that really bothered me.
And they did this in the men's rumble too. Yeah. Where the NXT guys, even though they're champions, are lesser.
Right.
They're weaker.
CN did last a really long time though. Like he lasted way longer than I thought they were going to let him.
Me too. Yes.
And at least Ember had the sort of in-ring excuse of having such a hard, that last four. But I don't I like Dana Brooke. I do. I think that
I like that she's corn-fed.
She's got body. She actually does some athletic to the ring. Like she's super buff, and then she does dits really well, which is a hard thing to do without making it seem like super annoying. And I think that her being like this weird statistician for it's just the weirdest thing, but it works. For them. So I think that I like that she had a run to show that she is actually a good wrestler, since we haven't actually seen her wrestle in a minute. But I didn't like that whole weird setup of that. It was just even if she did eliminate her, I don't like the way it happened.
She could have took a Riot Squad member though, or what is the other team called?
I don't know.
Absolution.
Oh,
that's right.
She could have taken one of the newer to WWE girls out, but instead they purposefully kind of seem to do that. NXT is not as strong as WWE, which if that's their message, okay, but it's also weird.
And it's also kind of weird things. I mean, Nia Jax, I know they're pushing her, but I feel like she should be higher than she is.
Yes.
And in the Rumble, how many women did it take for her to get out? Which shows that she should be a big force.
Right. Why did she go on a tear? That was very strange to me. And then so the final four were Sasha, Asuka, and the Bella Twins.
I'm not a Sasha fan. I know I'm an underdog here, but
I'm a Sasha fan. I think I like the way she works.
She's always so close to being up top, but then they're like, okay, cool.
I think they don't like the way she works. She's a little dangerous, but
she's very
for
floppy.
herself, not for other people.
Yeah, she's very floppy. She is 100% invested in this stuff, and I worry about her.
I was happy though to see that she got to be I was the number one entrant, and
she was the Baylor of the females.
Right, and her and Becky working together, not even working together necessarily all the time, but they were the backbone of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
and it was cool to see them get to really show what they can do. But I guess you can never get super into Royal Rumbles because they're always going to do some shit.
Some weird shit.
Right. But, it must be difficult to balance. Who can defeat who and who should go over who.
I just hate how Nikki Bella is always at the end. It's the most predictable. She's the John Cena of women, and I'm so over it.
I'd be more into it if maybe she looked a little more like Dana Brooke. If she looked like she could beat her way out of a wet paper bag or something. And I understand I understand she's strong.
Yes.
You have to be strong to be one of
100%.
But her look and everything, she just looks like a lady walking down the street. So to have me believe she can be this someone I should be worried about as a contender when she's come out of nowhere. She's been gone for all this time.
That's my problem. She's gone to come back to Asuka.
Right. That was weird.
I do feel like I could take Nikki in a fight. I probably couldn't, but that's the thing. If I look at Asuka, I know would murder me. You know what I mean? It's a thing where I feel I should be slightly intimidated by the person.
Yes, I agree.
I think Nikki looks strong.
She does look strong, but I also still think
my ass in yoga.
Yeah, but I also think that maybe if I could have a chance to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't feel like I have a chance.
I'm not intimidated by her.
Yeah,
That's what I think. That's what we're both feeling.
Because she's too like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be like if Alicia Fox was champion again in this era. You know, it's like.
Right.
Oh, got a badass over here. Like I need it.
How long was she champ for? Like 3 months or something, right?
She's great.
She's she's really great.
She's got a lot better.
Yeah, I wish they would retool her.
I wish, update her, goddammit. She's not a diva anymore. Fix it.
The divas not exist.
She's like the last one, right?
Well,
Natty,
I
guess.
The Bellas.
Oh,
too.
God.
I mean, they're like
technically,
the backbone of
I mean, it's worked. Please don't get us wrong.
No.
Worked to be where they are right now. But
very hard work.
The
I
way
respect all the
it
work
was-
that puts in there.
Mhm.
It's just.
But the way it was set up, we've got monsters like Nia Jax in there. We've got powerhouses like Naomi in there. We got the old school people in there. We've got Asuka. We had Ember Moon. And you want me to be like, oh, fuck. I mean, even to the point where when the Bella Twins came out, what did the crowd chant for both of them?
Their husbands did.
men.
They were doing that for
men's
everybody
chant.
too, because they were doing that for Michelle.
What did they chant for Michelle, the Undertaker stuff? I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
But like that was also frustrating to me.
Yeah.
It always frustrates me when she's like,
Yes. It's like,
So like,
okay, we're at the women's Rumble. You had your men's Royal Rumble. Like, can we talk about
We
them?
have a minute.
Are you just your boyfriends and husbands? It's weird.
I do like Brie better than Nikki though.
Same.
I gotta go that way.
And I can't tell them apart because I'm who I am.
How are you not telling them
I
apart?
can't tell Primo and Epico apart. I can't tell
Oh.
Nikki and what's her name apart.
What?
I can't tell anyone that's the
The
Usos.
What?
Fuck me. I'm
Yeah, no,
guessing
the
every
Usos are-
time.
Like it's getting a little easier to tell them apart, but like
I'm like, who's
it's
wearing the
hard.
chain?
Yes.
What do they say?
Like
Some
Jay has a longer face.
Yeah. It's but when they're wrestling,
Primo and Epico look nothing alike,
Yeah.
and I can't tell them apart.
I just let that one slide.
It's okay. I
Like
get.
Fandango and Tyler Breeze, generally I'm guessing. I just, when you're a team
I'm sorry. Wait a
and
minute.
you wear similar clothes, you lose me. I don't know.
I used to get Daniel Bryan and Sheamus confused, so I understand. That's bad.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, but if you are any way similar to each other, y'all hang out, you're fucked. I ask people how they can recognize me when I wear a hat sometimes, so maybe I just have a
so what
problem.
you're saying is that the Clark Kent glasses disguise 100%
Would work on
sorry.
me.
Yeah.
Because I look at people, and I reintroduced myself to a wrestler the other day on accident, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm Dickie," and I was like, "Oh wait, you put a hat on. I met you earlier." And he's like, "Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything." I'm like, "Sorry, hats.
Oh god.
Good times.
I can't tell people apart." So moving on.
Okay, wait.
Mhm.
Just as a
Wait,
clarification.
tell me why I should care.
This is how you could tell the Bellas apart.
Okay.
Brie wears more clothes.
Always.
Always. She always wears more clothes. Nikki is always in them short shorts
She's-
and that half top. In fact,
she's
she
not
puts a
even
half top on top of a half
shorts.
top. I know they're
She's
like
panties.
They're like
They're
pants. Yeah.
cute panties.
They're
though.
cute
I love
panties,
them.
but they're pants. So she even wears a half top on top of her half top so she can tear one half top
Yeah.
away. So that's how you tell them apart. Brie wears more clothes.
Okay. I'll try.
And she
Well,
usually has a headband.
And she's thinner.
Tyler has blonde hair. Tyler Breeze.
Yes. Tyler Breeze is Vega
I'm
from
getting
Star
better.
Street Fighter.
Don't you guys
Just-
think off topic Cesaro looks like I forgot his name. The guy who's the singer guy now.
Pitbull?
No,
Elias?
he's no. He was
Aiden English.
Yes.
No.
No,
What?
no, not
I
at
think
all.
they look alike.
No, not even remotely. I'm sorry. I can't.
I'm
I
glad I
can't
made
see that
you
one.
laugh.
I'll,
Though. I totally think they look the same.
I'll give you the Daniel Bryan
Oh.
Sheamus thing. I won't say anything about it.
that. That's nice of you.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I will not, unfortunately, be nice enough to extend that to Aiden and Cesaro.
Maybe because they're both like one's got no hair, one's
Okay.
losing hair.
Their body types are completely
Completely
different.
Their bodies are
One of them has pepperoni nipples. The other one
Oh my
has
God.
human nipples.
Which one's the pepperoni?
Cesaro.
Oh my god.
Cesaro posted a picture of him with hair, and I was less attracted to him.
Yeah, he needs to keep the hair off. Thank goodness that's not an option.
Oh man, my face. I don't have man hair plugs. That's what he was saying. So let's get back briefly to
Okay.
wrestling.
I'm glad I made you guys laugh.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
good,
that was
good,
some
good.
great exercise. My abs worked. Elimination Chamber is coming up.
Yeah,
So apparently Stephanie, working her Stephanie ways, I'm happy she's back. I love that manipulative woman. Convinced Asuka to wait until after Elimination Chamber to pick who she's going to challenge.
Smart.
Because they've been advertising Alexa, so it makes sense. We were wondering, wait, how are you guys gonna do that?
Yeah.
So in the first women's Elimination Chamber match, as far as I know.
I don't think there's
Yeah.
It's going to be Alexa Bliss defending her championship against Bayley, Mandy Rose, Mickie James, Sasha Banks, and Sonya Deville. Kind of an interesting mix.
That being said, I hope she retains.
Yeah, I think she will.
Yeah.
I have hopes. Because who would she give it to?
Yeah.
I mean, if Sasha takes it, she'll lose it the next day.
Right, that's how Sasha works.
Yeah.
Well, that's how they work Sasha.
Yeah, and then Mickie James, while really great and deserving of more, is there supposedly as enhancement talent. So
yeah, I mean, I think
Alexa's so over. You want to keep her.
Yeah, I want Mickie to get one more title at least before she leaves. I don't know how long she's gonna be there. But I just
they need to open a tag team.
I agree. There, you have enough women now.
There's now enough women. Give us women's tag teams.
Raw is 3 fucking hours long. You can put a single
so
and a tag
long.
match together
Yeah.
in one thing. Because what else we're gonna do? Listen to Elias sing for 4 minutes? Shut the fuck up.
That's what frustrates me. When I see the matches that they do give, these boring ass men's matches, and then they'll throw all the women into one storyline so that they can say that they were all on that episode. And I'm like, you could have easily removed Kurt Hawkins from this episode.
Yeah, aggregate if you like, this stupid thing here, you could put together 5 minutes for another match.
You totally can.
Like, it's not that hard.
No.
And don't think we didn't notice that you have the same storyline with the invaded NXT women who came up on both shows.
Right.
Don't think we didn't notice that. 'Cause
weird.
I say this every week.
Right.
We notice it.
Notice
We
it, and
definitely
it's
notice
weird,
all that
and
stuff.
it's not.
And it's not good. It doesn't even work.
Those women, and especially for the Riot Squad, like they don't go together.
They really don't.
And they've been given no reason to go together.
Nope.
And it's just like if you are going to be cohesive as a team, please don't let your weakest link talk. Let her be the big silent talk. The big silent type, Sarah Logan. Just don't.
Yeah.
Let her say hee-haw once in a while.
I was watching an episode and I texted Sarah and I was like, is she the female Baron Corbin?
She's about to be. She's maybe.
That's an interesting.
Listen, if you can't talk and you're in a group, that's fine. Don't let her talk.
Yeah,
They could have just had her, Ruby come up by herself.
Yeah.
I don't know why they need the other two.
I think they just needed. They needed a lazy way to inject 3 people without giving them separate stories.
But Liv is just like Carmella, so why they put her on SmackDown? The same.
Yep. And I think we talked about on the last episode with the Avengers. We didn't just release the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
You had Iron Man, and you had Thor, then you had Captain America. So if you want us to even give a shit about this team, like you probably should have built them all as competitors and then had them join.
Sure.
I don't get it.
Like they could have rolled it out across even 3 weeks, so have each one debut across a thing, and then the next, like the 4th episode, would be like, you think I'm getting beaten,
right?
Then everybody comes out and swarms or whatever. Like you could have swarm.
It just felt so generic, especially coming at the same time as Absolution, and they're the same.
And they're basically the same groups.
Yeah,
it's like one is by Beautiful Paige and one is by Less Beautiful Paige. That's it. That's the only difference.
It's Goth Page and Ska Page.
Yeah. Right.
Oh,
I like Ruby. That's not a knock against her.
They shouldn't have done what they did by forcing us to think of her and Paige in the same.
Yeah, it's because there's 2 different.
They shouldn't have done that.
True.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. So we're excited to see what happens for Elimination Chamber. I'm hoping every single special match we're getting the women's version. Let's do it. We got the Iron Man the year before, we got that cage match. Like, let's keep it going.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And let's also have solo women's show like 205 Live. It'll be better because it's all the women and people will actually watch it.
205, man.
Or like some people were saying, inject some of the women into 205 Live.
Yeah, because a lot of them are
Why not?
flippy. Why not have a women's division part?
When Alicia Fox was there, that was when I cared the most about it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a terrible story.
I actually felt bad for her at that time because I'm like, she's just like a 205 groupie. I wanted her to go somewhere else.
She wasn't going to go. Maybe that's why, because I had no hope for her. I was like, oh, they're giving her something. Yay.
Because she became captain, so.
Yeah, listen, her walking around that captain's hat is the worst and best thing in the business. I love it.
Yeah.
With a little extra business.
I was so excited for her and Goldust, and then she had to break her tailbone.
Oh no!
But Goldust and Mandy Rose is kind of cute.
It's cute, but I would
Rose.
But the craziness of the two of them together.
And then she got back.
Yeah, that's just good. It's just good.
Oh, they're 2 fucking psychos. So real quick to run down the mixed match challenge. The original teams: Finn Balor, Sasha Banks, Shinsuke Nakamura, Natalya, Miz and Asuka, Big E and Carmella, Braun Strowman, Alexa, Sammy and Becky, Goldust and Mandy, Jimmy and Naomi, Elias and Bayley. It was supposed to be Samoa Joe and Bayley, which I would have been way more on board with, but Samoa Joe had an injury. Rusev and Lana, Apollo Crews and Nia. It was apparently supposed to be Enzo instead of Apollo Crews.
But Enzo came.
Shit happened with Enzo.
Yeah.
Surprising no one.
No,
Bobby and Charlotte. Bobby and Charlotte.
Bobby Roode and Charlotte, they look so good together with those robes, and it's like it's perfect to have Charlotte, like the ultimate women's wrestler and the champ, to kind of help Roode push. It's like the opposite now.
Yeah.
It's so funny, but I would like to see them as a real tag team.
Right.
Charlotte's tall and strong.
They're
like
so
Yeah.
cute.
there's
Yeah.
people she could wrestle.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's talk about some of the things that have already happened.
Okay.
Finn and Sasha beat Shinsuke and Natalya. I'm guessing Natalya was supposed to be the weak link for Shinsuke for that to be.
It had
okay.
to be because I mean he just won the Rumble too.
Yeah.
So I know this happened before the Rumble, but
Right.
when I saw Shinsuke was tagged with Natty, I'm like, he's not gonna
He's
win.
not gonna make it. There were a few we could tell that with. We
Yeah.
knew the Miz and Asuka were gonna beat Big E and Carmella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We knew Braun and Alexa were gonna beat Sammy and Becky. Although that could have, I don't know why they did that matchup because Sammy and Becky
Good together.
Yeah, they're good
Yeah.
together. They could have gone even
Braun
further.
and Alexa are so fun.
Yeah, they really are.
Fun to watch.
Other little like behind the scenes snippets.
They're so
good.
cute and they
Yeah.
like each other. Biggie and Carmella, like I love how the New Day is all up on it, and like there's like a thing on Instagram where she has her money in the bank and she comes out of like a laundry machine, like, oh, we're gonna win or whatever. They're
Yeah, they were adorable. All their promos were like my
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Naomi won over Goldust and Mandy, which makes sense to me.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank God.
Yeah.
And then for the second round stuff, Finn Balor and The Miz, I get confused about when this airs because it's on Facebook and I was in Japan, and so I don't even know what's going on. I've been watching clips. So I guess Finn Balor and Sasha are going to face The Miz and Asuka, but I don't know when. It could be right now. For all I know.
Sure. I'm lost too.
It's happening as we speak.
As we speak. And then Braun and Alexa are going to face Jimmy and Naomi. R.I.P. Jimmy and Naomi.
I know.
Unfortunately.
Anyway. And we still have to have Elias Bailey versus Rusev, Lana, and Apollo Crews and Nia versus... So we definitely think Bobby and Charlotte are going to beat Nia and Apollo.
Yeah.
Somehow, right? You've got one of the most athletically gifted men and a monster mountain lady.
Yeah.
And
I don't
we
know.
put them together.
It's gonna happen.
It's
But
gonna happen. I
somehow.
just don't understand how. Like I don't understand
I don't know
how.
how they
Yeah.
do.
I mean, Apollo is kind of small, but like he's buff as hell.
Uh-huh.
Like, and he's so flippy and very impressive. And so I just whenever they have blue stuff, I'm just like I
And a
don't.
beautiful smile.
Yeah.
I think Rusev and Lana might beat Elias and Bailey, which is so sad for Bailey because
that
she has
happens,
been
it's sad.
shat upon over and over and over. And will she ever stop getting shat upon?
I read dirt sheet that WWE is giving up on Bailey. But I mean, obviously it's a dirt sheet, so.
I wonder if it has only changed because Samoa Joe couldn't go. And
Like maybe if it had been Bailey and Samoa, they would have been.
Yeah.
Rusev and
Maybe,
Lana.
yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Well, so there's a weird thing where Lana and Rusev are like getting super over right now, and I'm not sure what's
It's 'cause
happening.
of Rusev.
It's because of Rusev Day.
Yeah,
and,
Rusev Day is
because
great, but
Lana's
it's,
hot, so that's
yeah, but like they basically booed her constantly.
Right,
You can't
yeah.
wrestle. I'm like, can you let her try?
The
She was in the
only-
Rumble, right?
She was in the Rumble.
Yeah.
The only other option would be that Lana costs Rusev by being so bad, and then maybe Bailey can get to go. Like that's, but like I think the odds are kind of slim personally.
Yeah.
Because of Rusev.
Yeah.
I
because he's
agree.
so over.
And he's weird, and he's like, he's
love Rusev.
and that's why I love him, because there was a thing I saw where they were doing Super Bowl picks, and they were talking to various people, and they got to him and Aiden, and so Aiden English was talking, and then Rusev comes out in a horse mask. It doesn't
He's
say
so
anything,
great.
and then just walks away, and Aiden's like,
Ever after seeing the Southpaw Regional Wrestling, I've been a Rusev
So
fan. And
great.
watching Total Divas. He's funny. He's a great
Yeah.
man. I can see why you got a beautiful woman like Lana.
hashtag
Yeah,
Team
me too.
Thickums.
Do you guys have any predictions on who you think will win?
Overall.
It's hard, right?
It's hard to say that Asuka's team won't win because it's Asuka, but this is the best way to give her a loss without giving her a loss.
Yeah.
And I think the Miz is not bulletproof, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
he's the weak link on their team.
yeah, and he's not, and they're not pushing him enough for them to win this whole thing. I mean, money's gonna be on Braun and Alexa.
I think Braun and Alexa, which sucks if they do that because she has the championship and he's in some big matches. Like they don't need it. They don't need this at all. But they're such an adorable team. And you know the WWE is making shit up as they go.
Yeah, 100%.
They might have an original plan, but as they see reactions, they do adjust.
Yeah.
And so it could very well have been that someone else was supposed to win it, but the reactions to Braun and Alexa to me suggest that they're gonna win.
Yeah.
Well, she
or
has
Bobby. Like I think it'll come down to Charlotte and Bobby versus.
That's what I think too, even though it feels so cliche.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are the best, most appealing.
It'll be interesting. They do have that second chance.
I think Becky and Sammy ought to get that.
Do you guys know how that works?
No, I don't know.
I think it's like voted by the public for the second chance.
Okay.
Like, because they voted for the referee, like the special referee that happened in it too. So I know this is very like fan engagement heavy.
Yeah.
And off main TV.
Yeah.
So for me, it's really like for missing the first part. I'm like, can someone in small words explain to me how I can? I think the older episodes are now up on the WWE Network, or they come on 205 Live's slot. One of those two things.
I think they're all available on Facebook. I think, but I could be wrong.
Watch some shit on Facebook. Yeah, they're like Facebook Watch. I'm like,
I tried to watch it live one day. They're like, sign in. I'm like, no.
Yeah, exactly. No, thank
thank
you. I don't want it.
Too much
Put
work.
it on my TV.
I just want. Can you do it?
I know. I just want to watch.
Yeah, just don't make it weird. Why gotta make? Well, Facebook is trying to make you sign in to look at anything. Really.
Yeah.
So it's really Facebook.
I absolutely abhor Facebook, and I say that as a social media manager. I would delete it right now if I wasn't in the world of wrestling, where apparently everyone communicates via Facebook Messenger. Yeah. If y'all would just join me, let's leave.
But it's so convenient. It's faster than email, and it's just
that's Twitter DM, Instagram DM.
Twitter only has like limited. It just feels smaller in terms of world. You know.
I don't like it.
I'm not defending Facebook. I'm just saying.
You are. You're sitting here defending Facebook in my home, in front of my salad. Where can people find you tomorrow?
You can find me on the Twitters and the Instagrams at MisfitsTamara.
Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me at KAORIOUS at Gmail. But anyway, at Twitter, Instagram, and that's my YouTube channel as well.
And check her out on YouTube. She does cool shit all the time. You were doing something with Fire and Tomb Raider. And I was like, what is happening? You're legit as fuck.
Oh, thank you.
And you can find me, Sarah the Rebel. Sarah's an H because there's no other way to spell Sarah, and all the Sarahs are spelled without an H are not named Sarah. They're named Sarah. And you can find Women Wrestling Friends, Women Wrestling. What? With an F. I want some noodles. I haven't eaten today because I chose sex over food. That's my life.
I would do it.
Food's always going to be there.
Right? I love that y'all are so behind. I thought it was going to be besmirched. All right. So you can find us there. We are on Instagram as a place to quick and easily find our link to our episodes, but unfortunately lost the password. So if you know to hack Instagram, please hit me up. And we'll see you next time. Hopefully more regular schedule. You know what? I'm lying to you because we're about to go on a cruise for a week. The Joko cruise. If you've never heard of it,
my friends are going on that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You guys, what's today? Oh, you just missed the last day was yesterday to sign up. But they have one you can sign up for next year. It's a geek cruise. Board games and like Will Wheaton and Patrick Roth. This is like
Amy Bergshire.
It's like Comic-Con on a boat.
It is. It's gonna be really awesome. So we're on it. So
That's so cool.
Yeah, we're not gonna have an episode though for y'all.
Oh,
we're gonna be.
Maybe you have to do like a quick
Yeah, no, we can do like a 5-minute thing.
thing.
We'll find somebody who likes wrestling.
Does anyone on this boat like wrestling?
We'll just go around talking to people about wrestling.
You're on a
like
geek
3 minutes
cruise.
at a
I'm
time.
sure you can find one or two.
We'll try it.
It'll be like a man on the street, but it's a lady on a boat.
Man on the street, lady on a boat.